Welcome. On behalf of Associated Builders and Contractors of Western Washington's Legal Action Committee, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Jared Malone, Membership Development Manager here at ABC, and I would love to chat with you more about your ABC membership and the many benefits. In the meantime, please enjoy this Mental Health and Suicide Awareness and Prevention in the COVID-19 Environment presentation by ABC member Karen Galipeau Foreigner of Employer Solutions Law.
Hello, thank you so much for watching this blog. My name is Karen Galipeau Foreigner. I'm an attorney who works in Washington State with employers on labor and industries issues, safety, employment law, and the like. And in the course of my personal life and my career, I've come in contact with some of the challenging issues around mental health and suicide. So I'm here to give you a brief talk about suicide awareness, mental health awareness, and some prevention and response tools that you can have both in your personal life and in your workforce. Suicide is a growing problem in society over all age groups and all occupations. It's the 10th leading cause of death in the United States and the 8th cause of death in both Washington and Oregon. It's especially high in construction, about 4 to 6 times than in most occupations. For instance, in 2018, we lost about 7 workers in construction to physical trauma, falling, crushed, and so on. But in that same year, we lost about 77 workers in construction to suicide. So this is an issue. It's time to get in front of it. If we care about our workers, we care about our friends, families, and colleagues, now is the time to start talking about these issues and get in front of it. These were issues last year, even before COVID was a problem. And COVID is causing stress, anxiety, and difficulties for the vast majority of the American population, regardless of occupation. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to imagine why kids homeschooling, lack of recreational opportunities, job insecurity, all the different COVID protocols that have to be followed when you're working or at home. This is a time of really high stress. So just as we are often trained to deal with a physical emergency, such as a heart attack or a stroke, some basic awareness and knowledge on how to respond to a mental health emergency is something I want to make sure we're covering today. And in the forefront is an organization at the University of Washington, and they've outlined a very clear acronym, a little LEARN, to help respond to a potential mental health emergency. So let's talk about what those 5 letters in LEARN mean. L means look for the signs. Many people who've had someone die by suicide in hindsight recognize that there were signs. So we should be looking for them up front. People talking about dying, people writing their wills, giving away things, saying that they feel hopeless and despondent, a real change in behavior and sleep patterns and how they interact with others. Pay attention to how people are doing. The E in LEARN is to empathize and listen. Many people who were otherwise going to follow through with a suicide plan, saying that someone just checking in and validating their emotions and experience is what stopped them from following through. And again, don't freak out, don't jump right to problem solving or judgment, just empathize. It sounds like you're in a lot of pain. It sounds like this is a very difficult time for you. Just that empathetic listening, and do it in a private place, not in front of everyone else at a safety meeting, but pull someone aside saying, hey, I'm noticing some of these things. I care about you. I just want to check in on how things are going. That may be as far as you need to go. But if you are empathizing and listening and kind of asking some follow-up questions, and you are concerned about the severity of the situation, the A in LEARN is ask directly about suicide. I think people have felt this is an awkward question, and it is a difficult question to ask, but to save someone's life, it is important. You need to ask, are you considering suicide? Or do you have a plan to end your life? And if the answer is no, and it's not that bad, well, then you can back up and still help the person get resources and show your support. But if they are, Then you go to the R part of learn, which is try to remove the means. Don't let them be alone. So if you're talking to them on the phone and they're driving home, call the spouse, have them remove firearms from the house. Try to keep that person away from the means of dying by suicide until you can get help. And the N in learn is figure out next steps. If you're dealing with someone and they are suicidal, you don't have to know exactly what to do. You just need to be able to call or text the National Suicide Lifeline. And you can text that number or you can call that number. And they will help you figure out what to do. So there is the ability to respond to mental health emergencies, just like we're trained in CPR or for physical emergencies. More importantly, though, is avoiding getting to the emergency situation in the first place. And there's many things you can do for yourself, your family, and your workplaces to avoid getting to a crisis situation. One is talk about mental health. Make it a topic at staff meetings. Make it a topic for a Monday morning safety talk. Have stickers and posters in your workplace talking about, are you struggling? Here are some numbers to call. We care. This is our employee assistance program. If you have a union workforce, sometimes unions have resources. Just make sure people know and normalize the conversation. If you are struggling yourself, which most people are under COVID, be transparent about it. I certainly am with my staff. This is a very tough year. And we talk about the well-being. How's everyone's mental health doing? Are you getting away? What are you doing to take care of yourself? Make that a part of the conversation in your families and in your workplace. One quick trick is if you or people are white knuckling it and just so stressed, is to stop, which is just stop what you're doing. T, take a couple breaths. O, just observe your surroundings, be present, and then proceed. Just those little stopping and checking in can really help bring stress down. So in these difficult COVID times, paying attention to mental health is a workplace safety issue. It's a safety issue for everyone in society. So I encourage you to make it a priority for yourself. And there's many resources you can find on the internet that might fit your particular industry or occupation. And just make those available and make it a priority. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation this morning, which might be afternoon when you're listening. And feel free to reach out to me. I do training for industry associations and employers on this important issue and in more depth. You can reach me at my email, which is Karen@employersolutionslaw.com. Again, thank you very much.